How do you, a beautifully, brightly shining soul, help others shine their light? This is O Moment Tarot. I'm Mys Miya, and we're pulling the cards for the piles. We have Boundaries here for pile 1. Lighten your load for pile 2. Happiness for pile 3. And courage for pile 4. Now, whether you're a light worker, starseed, wayshower, spiritual warrior, light bearer, change maker, whatever you like to call yourself, a spiritual teacher, you might be actively pursuing a career in this spiritual skill set of yours, but all of you who've been guided to this reading already shift and change the energy of your environment and the people in it positively just by being in there. Just by being there, just by being yourself, being authentic, shining your light, you help others shine theirs. This is a more individually focused message that is in collaboration with a video I did on my other channel, A Moment with Mys Miya, where I did my own inner work to figure out how I help others shine their light after talking about my transition phase into the next chapter in my vocation and my life purpose and career, if you want to call it that. Just my life's work that is in relation to my light work. So it's just an example. If you're in this place yourself, or feel like you will be soon, or just want a confirmation of things you already know with someone on your level, here's a more fine-tuned spiritual message for you in regards to how you help others shine their light that might give you insight into what might be next for you, give you some clarity on what next steps to take. If you want more information, you could definitely check out the other video. I'll have it linked below. Just kind of all of us sharing our methodology, our way of transitioning during a time like this. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I wish you much love and light. If you need more time to choose, right now would be a good time to pause. So as we're moving to pile 1. Hey, beautiful pile 1 with a Boundaries card, looking at how you help others shine their light. Just a beautiful thing to do. And it says so much about your soul. What makes your soul happy is helping others find their happiness, find their light. Love. You're really good at matching people. Specifically to other people. It doesn't have to be necessarily a romantic love relationship, but even when it comes to matching people that might be good friends, that might be able to work well together. If a friend of yours is looking to hire someone, you might have someone in mind. If someone is looking to go on a date, you might have someone in mind. Or you kind of always look out for these things, maybe just unconsciously, like, oh yeah, you know what, this person might really get along with this other person. And you even also do a great job matching people to things that they might love. A job, a career, a hobby, music, food. You might know your friends' taste in food and music really well. movie taste, book taste, you're just good at matching people to what you think they might like, and something that you kind of look out for, which says a lot about you, that you pay attention to people in deep ways. And you might not even notice that you do this, but not everyone does this. Not everyone has this ability to just kind of match people to things that they might love. You might be a really good gift giver. You might not be, but that's one of the traits of being a good gift giver. It's just you pay attention, and you might not even think that you're a good listener, and you might talk over people, try to finish their sentences, or you're kind of scatterbrained, or maybe not. You may be very clear-minded, but there's this underlying quality for all those that pick this pile, where you hear people, you see in people things that they might not be aware of themselves, or that they might not really notice about themselves until someone like you comes along and points it out, which is a very special thing, because you help people understand themselves and see themselves in a different light, in a way that they might have not done for themselves. Strength card in reverse. You do help people gain the courage to pursue aspects of themselves or in life that they might have normally not have. You might recommend someone take a leap of faith in trying out this new color or trying out this new venture that they might have not have if you didn't give them the courage to, if you didn't kind of, pump them up and let them know that, hey, you might be really good at this, you should give it a shot, even if you don't do well, what is it going to hurt? Give the people courage to do things outside of their normal box. You as a lightworker, starseed, and a highly spiritual person, you're kind of used to taking risks. It's not easy, not for even no one. It's taking risks isn't easy for anyone. You just had to get better at it, and you might be a bit more courageous than most people, and you kind of build upon that courage, but it's something that you have to work on, and you give other people the permission to do the same, to take reasonable risks and put themselves out there, which is very special. Okay. The whip. I'm getting discipline. You are a beautiful, shining example of what can happen when you pursue something that you want to accomplish, whether it's something small in your personal life. You want to get better at waking up earlier, or eating healthier, going for a simple walk more, having more color in your environment. Whatever it is, you are a shining light and an example in ways that you might not even notice for yourself, but other people notice. Oh, this person, they said they want to read a book every so often, and they're doing that, and it shows it's like helping their life, and that's something that they wanted to do, that they knew was good for them, and they're doing it. And that's just the small things, but there are so many big things that you've also accomplished just by putting one foot in front of the other, not knowing if you're going to get anywhere with it, but just kind of continuously pursuing it. That is such a huge part of who you are in your identity, and made you so much more whole, that it gives them courage, no matter where they are in life, to just keep at it day after day, week after week, and knowing it will land them somewhere because it did for you. Anxiety, and it came out face down. People may have seen your anxiety, and also there might be people who don't see that anxiety at all. So you might have come across a lot of people who have been with you for a long time and seen you come in and out of anxiety and stressful situations, and how you've handled it, but keeping on and pursuing a stress-free Zen life. And then also times where you've bumped into people who might have thought you were just super cool, calm, confident all the time, and not realize that in that particular circumstances or moment you're dealing with a lot of anxiety. So there is a lot of folks out there that are anxious about stepping into their life purpose, about pursuing something more creative in their careers or just as a side hobby, spending time doing something that they think they won't be good at, and even if something that they think that they love and would be a good match, they just can't get over some boundaries to pursue that. And you help them see that they can get past their anxiety. Three of Pentacles. You might even offer to help them get started on this project, this new line of work, this new hobby. You know, if you might show up for them if they are going to a practice or a class. You might offer to drive them there or take the class with them, or get started on that project. This is how you help others shine. You help them match to something that you think that they might enjoy, and you know, most of the time you're right. And if not, it's something that helps them figure out something about themselves. Like, you know, they always wondered about this thing, and now they know for sure if they like it or if they don't like it, or if it's something that they feel like they want to pursue, or it's just like a great one-time experience. But you definitely help others open themselves up, and you're a great matchmaker. Okay, let's see how else you help others shine. Heart, love, romance. Yeah. Not for nothing, you are really great. You are a great matchmaker for love, but you're also very understanding. You might have had a lot of experiences in love and relationships, and you hold space for others while they're figuring that out for themselves. And you're the go-to person. You might not even think of that for yourself. Whether you're married, you've been married, you're in a relationship right now or not, like, people just feel like they can trust your guidance and advice in this realm. You just give the most sage advice when it comes to romantic love advice. And I feel like the way that you do it too, it's not even a matter of fact. Like, you know, it's black and white, and this is how it's supposed to go. You try to really get into that person's perspective and in their shoes and see things from their ways, because it might not be the same way that you see love or that you want a relationship. And so there's something about that. And also, when you talk about relationships, you don't talk to them as if you're better than thou, you know, holier than thou. You definitely talk about your own experiences and say, like, hey, yeah, so I've been through this experience, and so, you know, I can relate, or it might not be similar, or I can't understand where you're coming from, but this is something I did in a situation that I can relate to, and in a really, like, grounded way where people feel comfortable talking to you about these things. The Emperor and the Hanged Man. Wow. Take up space and surrender. And this goes back to boundaries here, because not only do you help others kind of push their boundaries into something that they might like, but they never had enough courage or motivation or inspiration to kind of take that leap of faith and go for it, but you also help others in terms of standing up for themselves in love, creating boundaries. I'm getting a lot of helping people create boundaries with like their friends and family that might not understand or accept their romantic relationship. So for example, if you have a friend who is really in love with their partner, and it's either really good for them or it's their experience and they're meant to kind of live out, and their family and friends are kind of obstructing that lesson or that really good connection in some sort of way, unless it's like obviously very harmful. People just need to have the experiences that they need to have, right? Or that their friends and family can't see how this is a really good connection because they want other things for you. They want, or for your friend, or and they want they don't know what you want or what you're looking for. They can't understand what you're looking for. They can't understand love in that way. And so you really help others kind of find their footing, find their boundaries when it comes to protecting their relationships when others don't understand, you know. Four of Pentacles in reverse. There is an aspect of coming out of the home. I do feel like you relate to love in a different way than a lot of people in your life relate to love and love relationships. And so you have some sort of expertise here. So it could be you might do really well in helping others explore their sexual side, their intimacy on a deeper level, their emotions and their depth of emotions with others, and not in a typical going to a therapist, going to a couples counselor kind of way. This is in a very spiritual, high level way. So there is something there that you're helping relationships, helping couples in a non-traditional way that may actually lead to something in the future. This might lead to a career where you specialize in something that is like a new technique in helping romantic relationships. So if you're wondering if that's something you're kind of leading towards, something that you might or think about pursuing or exploring, that is on the table here. Very loud and clear from Spirit. Let's see. Yeah. Wheel of Fortune. There's something happening in your own love life right now that is going to open the door to this next evolution of your soul purpose, or next step in your soul mission, whatever you even call it, your career, your life's work. It's happening now. So your love life is very much intertwined with your life's purpose and how you help others shine. I wouldn't be surprised if you work with your partner, or if your pull for your soul mission becomes much, much stronger when you are in this relationship, or kind of deepen this relationship, romantic relationship within your own life. So whether your own love life is an inspiration for you to kind of pursue this career on your own, or something that you do actually work with your partner with. And you might work with other couples as well in starting a business or in this kind of pursuit, this new venture. But I do feel like your own love partnership is a very strong energy that helps you help others shine their light. So it might be even just kind of something underlining, like something that just comes naturally, just you and your partner being an example for others. That is a given. That is definitely something in your lifetime. You and your partner are meant to be an example, a shining light for other couples to kind of follow a template or get inspired by. So no matter what you do in your career, even if it's not that is something that you're going to be doing no matter what. But it does help kind of in whatever you might be doing next, because you're really good at matching people, and not just with other romantic interests, but other things that they love. It comes from your own good match. Yeah, it's 9 of Pentacles in hand. Money and money opportunities will come easy to you. Career opportunities will come easy to you with this very strong love partnership for yourself. It's just kind of what you were meant to, the energy you're meant to be in. I do see that you have a solo career, and if you would like, you can also have a career with your partner. It's just that you're in that type of energy. Once you hit that level, that depth with your own romantic love connection, you're kind of free to kind of pursue whatever you want, and you'll be called in a lot of different directions. You actually have a lot of opportunities come your way. You'll be able to pick and choose, just because you're in such a strong energy that you can do a lot in a lot of different projects if you wanted. And so you will be called to pursue a lot of jobs on your own, or you might even have your own well-set career. But you're also open to having a business with your partner or with others. But I do feel like you alone, you carry a lot of weight, energetic weight. It's powerful. So you're able to do more than just that. You'll have your hand in a lot of pies. You'll be able to have a lot of opportunities come along your way. Yeah, more than one stream of revenue, I'm hearing. A lot of little projects if you like. Okay, so the World card, and then this card came up in hand. You actually have an opportunity coming to you almost like now. It's coming to you right now. And you know this pile is for you if you have done a lot of boundary setting and you've seen significant changes in your life because of doing those boundary setting work. It might have been a significant period of time that you've done this boundary setting work, and this shift because of it has been probably taking a bit of time as well. And this is a clear sign. I mean, I can't, when I work with spirit and it comes down to timing, they usually keep it vague because it depends a lot on the person and their decisions a lot of times. But when it's very, very obvious and set, spirit will have no issue giving me a timing. And this is like coming in now. In fact, the Knight of Wands came up in hand, which is like, this person might have just entered your life, maybe entering your life soon. Very, very soon. Like, it's here. It's all happening now. All right, pile 1, I hope you enjoy your reading. If you did, I really appreciate a comment. If you like, you can check out the reading that I paired this with on my other channel, A Moment with Mys Miya. That's MysMiya. And I wish you much love and light. Hi, beautiful pile 2. With Lighten Your Load, we're looking at what you do to help others shine their light. And Spirit wants to get started. Well, you're taking too long. Wow. You manifest miracles for the people around you. You attract a lot of soulmates on your path. Yeah, a lot of people seek you out. They feel a soul connection to you. You might have such power and such a strong light, and that's been uncovered, unveiled, that you might have noticed this during your spiritual journey, that you attract a lot of soulmates into your life. You know, low level, medium level, high level, you know, in friends and in family members, in romantic interests, in work situations. You attract a lot of soul connections to you. And I'm getting it's kind of funny because you might not feel a pull to a lot of people around you. You might look around you and be like, oh, you know, there's not many people that I feel are in their power around you and shining their light very brightly. But when you come across a soulmate, you know, you recognize it right away. To the point where a lot of people might be questioning why they feel a pull to you. For example, if they're not attracted to your sex, like, why do I feel a pull to them? Or you might get a lot of suitors or a lot of people interested in you romantically, and you kind of know, like, oh, I know this isn't the right, you know, energy for a relationship, but they feel pulled to you anyway. Or you might have been confused when this first started happening and thought that everyone that shined their light as strongly as you and as on the same resonance as you were your soulmate. But you kind of understand it now, that you're strong in your authentic power and your light shines brightly, and you recognize when you meet a kindred soul. So yeah, you call soul family in a lot. Soul family, soul friends from other lifetimes that are meant to be in your life for a short period of times or long period of times, in this lifetime, forever. You call a lot of soulmates in to help you both lighten each other's loads. So you do call in, even if you don't think so, and even if you spent a lot of time alone, you do call in. You might have even noticed, like, when you're kind of going through something and your heart and soul is crying out to have someone there for you, they just automatically appear later that day, the next day, or within a week or something. So you have the ability to call in soul family. Wow. Okay. Okay. 2 cards. 8 of Cups. Walk away, and it came towards you. Most of the time you meet these folks, they're not doing the best in life. And it's because they're calling you in as well. So they might have just came out of a difficult living situation, a relationship, they just lost a job or deciding to leave a job. So you might meet a lot of people who they're like, oh, we get along so well. And like when you two meet, it's like you're having a great time, a great conversation or something. But then you both realize you're both are finishing up something difficult. And that's when you call upon your soul family during those times. So yeah, I think that's kind of special. And it might feel kind of like, oh, both of you are tired, like, you know, this person seems great, but do I have the energy to hang out with them, to make a new friend, you know? And it's both of you are just kind of feeling raw from whatever experience that you just had and called each other in when you're at your kind of limit, to kind of help each other in this last leg or something, or in the middle of what you're going through. When you have those like gut-wrenching soul moments where you're just kind of calling out to the universe, like, just bring someone that can help me in the situation, or just help me in whatever way possible. In those moments. Strength card, yeah. When you don't have the strength to carry it all alone. And you don't have to stay friends with this person. You don't have to be in a relationship, follow up with this person. Sometimes it's just that one meeting that you needed. Maybe it's several meetings, maybe it's a short-term friendship, but there's an opportunity here to keep this person on as a long-term friend, or even something more. But that's how you'll know, because no matter what they might be to you, a mentor or teacher or friend, a romantic interest, someone that you can work with, start a business with, whatever this relationship is with this person, it always will start as a friendship. It reminds me of this one time I was doing this spiritual practice that had to do with the heart, and kind of feeling into your heart and asking your heart, what do you really want? And you have to kind of sit with it. You kind of do like a gentle meditation before and kind of connect with your heart, and then your heart will kind of tell you what it wants. And when I did this practice, it referred to everyone as friend, even if I was talking about a parent or sibling or family member or friend or neighbor or whatever. It just referred to everyone as friend. And it's just like, that's how pure our soul is. It just sees every connection as a friend. And then your ego's like, we don't get along with this person, or this person isn't right for us in this lifetime. But it kind of just goes to show that, like, any important relationship in your life, your heart sees as a friend. That was so cute. Like, my heart taught me this lesson. This came from within. That's like amazing, right? What your own body, your own energies can teach you. All right. Let's see. Kind of going between two decks. Okay. Let's see. The key. Unlocking answers, openness, solutions. Yeah. You two kind of help each other unlock things. So the soulmates, the soul family you come by, will help unlock something. So actually, I came across someone that we just met by happen chance, and we just had that like one really good conversation, and immediately after, like, things unlocked for me. And I should follow up with them to see how I kind of know how because I'm intuitive and I pull cards, but I kind of know how I helped unlock some things for them. But they unlocked some things for me that is just like, wow, like, for as much inner work and that I do, and as many guides and high level energetic beings that I connect to, like, sometimes it's just people's energies that are here walking the earth side by side that will unlock things in your energy, in your DNA, in your codons, that you wouldn't have done otherwise. Sometimes it's just divine timing that it's, now time for you to unlock this. We'll send someone your way. But yeah, soulmates unlock things for you all the time, and you unlock things for your soulmates all the time. Wow. Okay, let's see. Let's see how else you help others shine their light. Maybe I'll give you some clarity if you're in a transition period, or some confirmation for what you already know, what you've come across in your own inner work. Okay, this one to come out. This kind of wanted to come out. Stork. So new beginning, transformation, movement, flexibility. Okay, so because they came out reversed, you've already entered this state. Yeah. I did feel that strongly, that like you're already in this like transition phase, because a lot of people that pick the piles for this reading are not going to be necessarily in a transition phase in their soul purpose or career or anything, but I do feel like you definitely are, and you know it. Birds, so a lot of birds here. I love that. Gossip, small problems, excitement, anxiety, restlessness, chatter. So there's a lot of cards indicating here that wherever you are in this current cycle you're in, whatever kind of cycle you're in, there's a lot of soulmates coming through. So you're connecting to a lot of people who resonate with you more deeper than most. Varied levels of resonance, but still more resonance than most anyone that you've had previously in your life. And I do feel like you are engaging in more social dynamics, more of a social life. You're talking to people more, and you're really helping others just by talking to them. You're helping people through various seemingly small issues just by talking to them. I do feel like a lot of folks don't have anyone to talk to about their emotions, the depth of their problems, or just about things that they feel like their family and friends wouldn't be able to understand. And you're like, I've been there, done that. And so it gives you a lot of confidence when you're talking to folks, not just spiritual soulmate level folks, but just anyone around you. Just by having small conversations with them, you kind of let them see things in a different light, talk through an issue that they're having, even if it's just a simple conversation. It has nothing to do with the issue at hand that they might be dealing with or that you might be dealing with at that moment. It just kind of refreshes your mind to talk to someone, connect with someone, to share the load, to share the day. There's a lot of people who are feeling extremely lonely and disconnected and craving human-to-human interaction. And just having a simple, pleasant conversation with someone, a simple transaction, very light on your energies, not heavy for you, not heavy for them, unless you both would like that, can make a world of difference in someone's life. It can just change the way they're feeling about their day, feel more motivated and inspired to take on whatever challenges that they're going through. A simple conversation with someone can change all that. And I love that that's coming back onto the planet, into the collective, after what a lot of us had to deal with in the lockdowns. And I feel like you're a light worker, you're like, I can deal with that. That was actually kind of pleasant to kind of stay away from others for a bit. But even light workers, we're very social beings. We need to connect with others, us probably more so than others, even if it doesn't feel like that sometimes, even though you're more okay with being by yourself and doing your own things. It's light workers that have gone through a lot of difficult challenges that they had to overcome, that are unseen to others, that a lot of others don't understand because they haven't started that process themselves or aren't at the level that you're at. And it makes it difficult for light workers to kind of even connect with anyone, even on a very casual, small talk, level. Okay, so let's see. King of Pentacles. Interestingly enough, there is a career opportunity specifically. Yeah. There is specifically a career opportunity, maybe even a relationship I do get it's a romantic relationship, but If not, there's definitely strong long-term friendships coming through. But it's tied to your career. Interesting. So I feel like the conversations that you're having now, they might seem like everyday and mundane, but they are going to lead to something very long-term and profound, very well established. Legacy, I'm hearing. Wow, the Emperor, yeah. Wow, and I literally just said legacy. Wow, yeah, the King of Pentacles came out in reverse for a reason. The King of Pentacles came out for a reason because it did connect me to relationships. If you're not already in a very strong partnership, romantic partnership, that is coming in. It might come in with, I'm getting a small group of friends. So there is a group coming in that will provide at least a few long-term friendships, at least one or two, if not more. And I'm getting, it's going to be tied to the work that you do. So I do feel like you're going to be working with others. And it's going to be like legacies creating. It doesn't seem like it at first. It seems like just like it's talk, just shooting the shit, sharing ideas. Yeah, but there is something powerful here coming in. The Lovers, yeah. Yeah, especially with the birds here, the Lovers. I do see that you'll be creating some sort of legacy with your love partner. And that could just be creating a family. But I do see something tangible, physical, a business of sorts, or a project that does involve other people that you both trust and like working with as well. That's the funny thing. It's like I feel like it starts off with just a bunch of people who have good ideas. You might not even know each other. It might not even come as like a fully formed group. It might just be people here and there, and just kind of like on the same track, and then it just kind of forms into something. But I do feel like you get a romantic partner out of that if you are single. If not, I do feel like you will be working with your partner with this. So you will be making friends with your current romantic partner. Wow. The Two of Pentacles in hand, in reverse. It comes together very easily. You might have been wondering in your life, when are things just going to come easily together? Like, you've worked well with your guides and you felt like things should just be falling into place, and that not that it hasn't been, it just kind of might have never finished coming into place. And so you kind of see your life, especially when you're on your spiritual journey, when you're on your healing journey and self-mastery, discovering yourself and your purpose and what you might be best suited for. Not that you haven't seen things come together, but never finished coming together. So you're always probably wondering, like, when is it going to come together? When is it going to come together? But you probably have seen it more recently, things starting to click. You might not see how yet. You might not see exactly which people that you've come across recently, which opportunities you've come across recently and about to come across even now in the very, very near future will be a part of this legacy that you create, this very established project that you create. But you can definitely see now that things are coming together and coming together in a more obvious, concrete, physical way. Wow. Queen of Pentacles. There we go. The King and Queen had to land on each other. Okay, so it's very much tied to your partnership. There's a train of thought. There's a theory that coming together with a partner, a romantic partner, where you feel that depth of feeling for each other, especially lightworkers, starseeds, who already feel that depth of emotion for themselves, for the divine, when they meet someone that they can pour that level of emotion and thought and energy into, it creates such a strong bond between the two of you and the divine, that the manifestation abilities are on fire, are so potent. I do feel like you're meant to lighten your load. Your romantic partner definitely does that for you. Done deal, I'm hearing. The two of you are a powerhouse, power couple. There's nothing you two can't do. It comes together so easily. Everything in your life comes together so easily when you two are on the same page and working together. You two are going to be attracting a lot of soulmates to yourselves. People you'll be happy to work with, live close to, be friends with, and create projects with. I'm going to pull one more card because I'm getting... I asked, like, is it many projects? And I am getting yes, obviously, with the 9 of Swords. And it came out in reverse. Imagine how much you've overcome. And imagine how much your partner have overcome. Some similar experiences, some different experiences. That's how many projects you're going to take on. There's so much that two of you can do. There's so much that two of you can do. There's so much that you two want to do. Yeah, I feel like even when you two kind of come together, or if you two are already together, it's gonna start immediately. This revived energy, because if you're already with your partner, you both are going through this transition phase with your careers. If not, you two are coming together and finishing this career change phase together. You have a lot of ideas, and you kind of plant a lot of seeds to see what you like, what grows, what you want to focus on. Do you want to focus on many things at once, or do you want to take on one or two? This is a time of planting seeds, putting up your feelers. The both of you feel very confident and very excited. And although you might have been going through that period before even coming together with your partner, or coming to this conclusion together of what you should do next, and putting your feelers out of, oh, maybe I should go in here, maybe I should go in this direction, maybe I should continue with this, maybe I should take this job, maybe I should do something just totally different, just keep my mind off something, just keep my mind busy, something that's flexible. Whatever it is, even if you were already kind of doing that on your own, in your own life, with your own career, when you and your partner kind of recognize that you are meant to work together, and you two come together ready to start this new chapter, it'll come together so strongly. And even though you two might pursue many different opportunities, you two are doing it together, and it kind of takes a burden off of what you should do next, because you two know whatever it is, you two are going to be doing it together. And it's a different way that you approach this next chapter, because you probably had a lot of times in your past where you're like, what direction should I go in? Which decision should I choose? Which opportunity should I go with? Which field should I pursue next? Whatever it is. But you had to kind of do it more on your own. And it's a different experience doing it with a partner, and a very, very strong partner. Not, if it's not a romantic partner, then like a business partner, a really, really strong platonic soulmate friend. But I do find for most people that pick this pile, it's going to be your direct life partner. It changes the game. It changes the way that you pursue these many opportunities, your excitement towards them, your willingness to work hard, wake up every day excited to see what you're excited about that day, what you want to pursue, what seems right, how many things you want to pursue, what you want to focus on, because it's like working with someone who is kind of in the transition with you. It's a different experience, and that's why the universe wants you to have it, because it brings that excitement back in starting something new. It's a different type of experience than going through that yourself, and it's exciting, it's positive, gives you like a resurgence of energy. That's another reason the universe wants to bring these soulmates and also work with your partner, that kind of experience through, because they want you to enjoy it, not see it as a burden, and also experience manifesting and working with others that are on your resonance. You worked really hard to have your light shining this brightly, and you're meant to come together with others who've done that amount of work, and where you can help each other keep that light burning and shining so brightly and even brighter. So it's like I'm hearing it's time. So yeah, it might be like it might feel like you're starting life all over, but it doesn't feel burdensome. It feels exciting. It feels like you have energy. It feels like you're young and you have vitality that's to kind of like start life forgetting about anything that's come in the past except the skill, knowledge, and wisdom that you're bringing with you. Maybe some connections, but I feel like for the most part it's like mostly new. I'm getting this excitement. It's like what if you started life at this level, going through the spiritual journey that you've already gone through, and then starting life when you have all the resources, all the right people, all the right experiences, knowledge, wisdom, skills, starting life fresh from that perspective. So it's exciting, it's different, it's positive, it's very, very positive, very exciting, very happy. Like you can't wait to wake up in the morning and get going kind of thing. Working by yourself, working with your partner, working with others, working on different projects, seeing where things go. It's more kind of like you want to stay in this energy. You know, in the past you might have wanted to like kind of like, oh, can we just figure this out? Can I just figure out what I'm supposed to do? And now it's like, I want to stay in the energy of figuring out what to do and seeing all these like different paths and different projects. And I want to be in this energy as much as possible, because you're kind of in like I call it light worker vacation, but kind of in this really, really exciting phase. You know, when you're in college with people in the same like age as you, kind of, you know, you're having fun, having same life experiences, you're young, you have vitality, you have excitement for the future, anything is possible. That's the kind of energy I'm feeling for you. So I'm very excited for you, Pile 2. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I really appreciate like a comment if you did. If you're interested, I kind of did this light work for myself. If you want to kind of compare notes, or, you know, give me your notes, see what I can learn from you, or if you want to take in how I do my inner work to kind of teach your students or teach others, or, you know, maybe there's something in there that you like for yourself. On my other channel, A Moment with Mys Miya, MysMiya, that is paired with this specific reading. All right. Hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. Much love and light. Hi, beautiful Pile 3 with the happiness card. Looking at how you help others shine their light. Okay, let's get started. Mountain. Move mountains. I do feel like when you help others, it's usually in a very big way. I do feel like you kind of, you know, because not a lot of people can take on things like that. You have to be very, very strong mentally, you know, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Your soul has to be very strong. You probably went through a lot in order to be able to help others with that burden, with those very, very big burdens. You have to be a very, very strong person to be even thinking about taking on helping others with that, big life issues. You're a heavy hitter, you're a spiritual warrior at its finest, elite, It makes you incredibly happy to do so. So I would not be surprised if you do have a very challenging career that directly helps people in very significant, very big ways. If not, I do feel like you'd be very happy going into something like that. Social workers, nurses, surgeons, lawyers that help the right folks, and people who physically build communities and take up big projects, clean the oceans, and you're out there feeding the hungry and setting up projects to help people, setting up a community tag sale or community farm to like literally change people's lives. Social work. Even I'm getting there's like difficult jobs out there that some folks are like don't even know exist. Helping someone clean up a murder scene in their home. People who hospice nurses, like some people can't like even fathom having to deal with something that serious and that big, that important. People who go after the worst criminals and these heinous crimes, like these are the people who are true heroes that heroes walk among us, right? We all do good things, but there are some people that you have to give respect to. You have to be like, yeah, like, wow, you're the reason civilized communities work. Going into burning buildings and such, and scientists who actually look for helping humanity and the environment rather than just taking some corporate agendas, even if you have to do the shitty work to get to do the big work later on, like these are the people who stayed in that line of work and kept going and became the best at it, or show up day after day even though it defeats you, talking to people with chronic mental illness and just day after day just show up. Respect to you, pile 3, because if that's not what you do, that's something that you would like to do or have the ability to do. And if you have the ability to do that, it says something about your soul and how strong it is. So much respect to you. Rescue mediumships, mediums who deal with, young kids that pass away in a gruesome way and talking to their spirit to kind of help them move on. People who've been through, TRAF, you think I think you know where I'm going with that. And those folks have such problems. People who help them. It's just there's some like heavy work out there, and I feel like it needs to get recognized more because we glamorize these people who put on makeup every day on their videos, and it's like there's like real heroes that need to be spotlighted. You're one of them, or you will be. Okay, so let's see. Ace of Wands. There's an opportunity that just came in for you or is coming in. It's so funny. And all the piles so far, there's like an immediate opportunity. Maybe that's probably why I was guided to do this reading. It's not your typical pick a card reading, and it's very much bearing my soul. This reading is paired with some inner work I did on camera for myself with the same kind of work. How do I help others shine their light? To take steps into what's next for me. But there's so many people on my wave, our wave, that are kind of at the same spot, which is why I'm so guided to do this kind of work right now. There's an opportunity that just came in. If not, it's like literally going to come in like today or tomorrow. Like, but I do feel like this opportunity just came in yesterday, today, tomorrow. Like, it's very, I'm getting strongly, just came in. This just came into your energies. So you might not even have been aware of it, that this is coming, even as a very intuitive, highly spiritual person. You might have felt like there's an opportunity coming, but you probably didn't know what kind of opportunity, where, how. And you're a very intuitive person, so once it enters your energy, it shows up immediately because you're that intuitive that like you feel it in your energies right away. And you might have been feeling for a while now that there's an opportunity coming through. Your guides might have been saying that, but you didn't feel it yet. You're going to feel it in your energy. And as soon as you feel it in your energy, you're going to see the opportunity in your physical life almost immediately after. Like half hour later. Like maybe later that day or tomorrow. Like literally that's how fast it happens. And Spirit is telling me that they had to purposely, they kept telling you like this opportunity is coming so it can kind of encourage you and motivate you, but they couldn't bring the opportunity right into your energies, connect you to the energy of the opportunity directly, because you would have caught on too quickly. That's how strong your intuitive senses are. Wow. There's still a divine plan at play, no matter how much we manifest and create our own reality, like there's still a divine plan at play. Okay, the 8 of Wands in hand, communication, fast movement. Okay, so I feel like you're going to take action on this opportunity very quickly. You're going to know what this opportunity is for you immediately. It's going to feel, like perfect timing, like perfect opportunity. Like you're going to know, like this is the opportunity that you're meant to have, that you're meant to take action on. And it came up in hand, so I'm wondering, opportunity. I love that confirmation. And it's like one of those opportunities where like you got to grab it when it comes in. You don't want to miss this opportunity. And don't worry that you're not, like when you see it, you're going to feel it, you're going to know it, and you're going to take action on it right away. It came up in hand, so I feel like this is an opportunity that comes specifically just for you. This is an opportunity specifically just for you. And that you might not tell other people that you have taken. Okay, speaking of hands, this is the hand tarot. So I want to pull a hand card. It's so funny, I was talking about hands, and this is the only card without hands, feet. It's a hanged man, wow. You've been waiting on this one. I'm getting this image of this guy kind of like being like, oh, okay, it's time to go. Like this is the opportunity you've been waiting on. And so you kind of just like get up and go. It's interesting that like the first card was like how you help others shine, and the rest was like about this opportunity coming in, because that's how important this message was, that your spirit guides were like, this is what we want to relay to beautiful pile 3 immediately. We already know how significant they are, but the way you help others shine is in obviously very, very significant ways, like life and death, type of situations, big ways, very profound ways, like people who thought they would never see happiness in their life. Very, very difficult situations. Okay. Let's see how else you help others shine their light. But Spirit, it's like we still want to talk about this opportunity. Okay, let me give your guides, let's give Spirit a platform here. They have some things that they want to tell you. You won't be alone. You'll be working with others, but very few. Small group. They've also been waiting for this opportunity. They might already be there. I'm getting this image of like they just started the job too, but they're already working there. Or like they came on at the same time as you onto this project or whatever. Or if this is a project that you two are starting together, or you the few of you, or the small group of you, it feels like all of you kind of came into this line of work or this next job or this next project together around the same time. All of you are kind of like, okay, it's time to go. Yeah, you can't see it. These are new people. These are new people. They will be your friends. Or, you know, people that you work so closely with that you will become friends, almost like family with each other. Partners. Is there anything else you want to say, or should I? Inspiration, Ace of Wands, and balance. Justice coming back. There's something that you wanted to do, that you would have loved to do. Granted, I'm getting like, even if you have the ability to do like move mountains for people, move like strong energy within people or groups of people in a positive way, in a healing way, you're not going to necessarily do the jobs that I listed. I'm saying you can do those jobs, but you might do those kinds of jobs or be affiliated with it. You might do some fundraising, you might do some nonprofit, or you might work out a new kind of 5D business. You know, so you have the ability to do that. That's your energy. But what you do with it next might be completely different, maybe something similar. It depends on you and your energy. So it's an idea that you had before, and Spirit's like, that's how you will know. Because I think they're trying to guide you now with this upcoming opportunity. This is something, you know, it might be an ancestor. It might be a grandparent or a passed over loved one. That's who's coming through. They've been kind of watching you, and they realize that you've been going through difficult times recently. And especially in terms of moving into this new direction, and your Passover loved one or whoever's looking out for you on the other side, it could be your guides, they want to make sure you don't miss this opportunity. Not that you would, but they're just like, this is one you want to keep. They're pointing arrows at it so strongly, like this one, this one, this one, this one. So they're telling you the way that you'll recognize this opportunity is because it's kind of, it's the exact or very similar to the idea that you wanted to work on before. Good karma coming back. The reason that one of the motivations, like, you know, for example, to the twin flame journey, a lot of people are motivated by the potential of this divine love that's like perfect, that keeps them doing their inner work. For you, it wasn't just like love or money or power or whatever. It was the idea of doing the soul mission, this specific project. It was like out there. It was like kind of very, you know, airy-fairy, you know, your delusional type of career, dream job, dream project. But it's kind of what kept you going. And it was just an idea in the back of your mind, but it was kind of a very nice idea that kind of made you feel like, oh, maybe one day, you know, that's the idea, or something similar to it that's coming back. And that's how you'll know it's the opportunity, the right one. Your loved ones are being like, pay attention to this one, pile 3. This is the one. This is the one. Like, grab it. Okay, is there anything else you want to say? If you have to go there, go there. If it's a job that's like at a distance and you have to commute for a long distance, or if you have to move to that area, do it. Okay, your guides or your loved ones or whoever is like in your corner, they are coming through with very clear and specific messages. They're totally like disregarding the prompt that I had for this reading, but this is more important, so I'm going to just keep going with this, okay? This is the more important message to come through. 9 of Wands, you've worked so hard. I'm getting, it's kind of like it's like I don't know if it's secluded, but it's a place that has a lot of nature around it, but it has a high technology. So it could be a very like well-to-do company that can afford being a very scenic nature area, but you can like work from home on the computer, or have like, you get all the best technology to work on whatever you need to work on. Either that, or it's like, I don't know, it's just an area where you're surrounded by nature, or your company is, or if you're working from home, like where you will be living is, it's very beautiful, like nature area, but you have all the latest like tech to do this kind of job. Your tech, your computer is the best, your equipment, everything. So it's like a very, I'm scratching my head because it's like, that's all they want me to know, which is frustrating for me because I like to see the full picture, but that's like, they're telling me that's enough. That's enough information. I was like, okay. Wow, the Tower card in reverse. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the Tower card in reverse for me is a very auspicious divine event that you couldn't have planned, which is kind of becoming obvious. This is them repeating that message to be like confirmation, pay attention, this is true. A very auspicious divine event, very positive event that you couldn't have planned or seen coming. It's divinely orchestrated, and that's kind of been the theme for this pile. Wow. Okay, so let's see if we can get any cards for how you I guess will be, because like Spirit's like, you already have this opportunity to help others shine their light. Let's see if there's like a specific way. Page of Cups. For some reason, I keep getting, I got kind of like in small ways behind the scenes. In small ways behind the scenes. Yeah, the Hermit in reverse. You won't be alone. You'll be working with others, but it's like you're hidden, which is unusual. Because, yeah, it might be kind of like, I'm getting like secret agent like vibe. It might be that like, how I say you have the potential to do a lot of heavy lifting in the physical, which is probably why I'm getting recruited or considered for this position. And it might seem weird that you're doing things behind the scenes and helping people in small ways, but there's a reason for that. The Moon, yeah. You're working on something that's like something humanity doesn't comprehend or understand yet, but you're helping the collective. It's coming to light. You're like an ultimate light bearer. Like what you're doing behind the scenes is helping. I'm getting like truth and light come out into the world. So whatever you're working on, even though it seems like you're helping people in small ways and secretly, like they don't even know who's helping them, or maybe not necessarily, or maybe you're working on one-on-one with people, but like very like, like it's very like hush hush for some reason. And I think it's because whatever you're working on is like new, edgy, still experimental, or, isn't out in the public yet, or something that like has been hidden from others, hidden from society, hidden from humanity. The Chariot, wow, yeah. Or maybe you're kind of like the person that gets the ball rolling, is getting this information, getting this wisdom, getting this research out there. Wow. So much is coming through. I didn't expect any of this. All right, let's see. So you're helping like the world shine, like not just... You're specifically picked for this divine purpose and this this career, this life path, this job. So make no mistake, I'm hearing this is where you're meant to be. Wow. 4 Wands, homecoming. This is like, when this opportunity comes through, it's like, it might even be kind of surprising. but like, you know, this is exactly what you're meant to do. You know, all those times where you kind of felt like, oh, just tell me what I'm supposed to do exactly, specifically, you know, and you'll get to it. Well, now you have it. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more cards, and then Page of Wands. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be telling people about it. I don't think you can tell people about it. I think this is a very hush-hush or secret type of project. You might have an NDA or something like that. It might be for the government, it might be for a private company, it might be something that we don't even know is or aware exists yet, or something. Yeah, it's very hush-hush. And I feel like you even have the opportunity to kind of like see if this is for you. You have the opportunity to see if you want to stick with something like this or not. I do feel like you have an out. So like, if you're wondering like, okay, what if I take this opportunity? Am I stuck in it forever? Like, no, Spirit is saying like, you have the opportunity to check it out, and there is an out, like after like a day of visiting the place or a week or something like that. If you want to leave, or maybe a month like working there, if you want to leave, that is a possibility. And if you were going to leave, you would probably do it sooner rather than later. But there is an opportunity to kind of just like feel it out and see if this is something you want to do long term. And wow, 4 of Wands twice. 4 of Wands twice. So this, I mean, it's going to feel very like home to you, because it's like, I do feel like it's going to be, I do feel like you're going to be moving. If you take this opportunity, whether you just kind of check it out or you decide to be there long term, there is this feeling of this is like belonging. This is where I belong. This is what I'm meant to do. It might take you a second to kind of get the hang of things, but it feels kind of very like, for your soul and your spirit, it feels so self-assuring to kind of know your divine purpose, you know, and to the point where you kind of might be like, oh, I kind of miss like not knowing, you know, because the excitement, like, who knows. But there's also a huge amount of security and comfort and stability within, a very strong sense of knowing who you are, what you're meant to do, if you so choose to continue with this opportunity. Like, it feels so right, you know. It's just a change, because you probably went wandering around your whole life being like, where do I go? And like, there might have been times where things felt really, really right, and then times where you just feel like, I just want to know, I just want to do the thing, you know. I just want to live my life now. Like, I'm ready to like settle and start like a very peaceful, a long era of peace and stability and security in my life, so we can pursue other, you know, hobbies or family pursuits or social life, or, you know, personal projects. So it feels like very grounding, which is just kind of like a shift and kind of weird, you know, when you like, you don't know how good it is until you leave or something, or you don't like how interesting this time in your life was where you didn't know what you're supposed to do yet, and then you kind of miss it when you do, kind of thing. It's just like that, just for a little bit though. You do have a chance to kind of test it out to see if it feels right, but I think the guides in your corner are very, I mean, you have free will, but they're very persistent in relaying the message of, you gotta take this, you gotta check it out at least. All right, pile 3, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, I really appreciate your comment. This reading was paired with an inner work practice, where I did a reading for myself to see how I can help others shine their light, and I show my process. If you want to kind of look at it, see if you get anything from it that you would want to pass on to your students or people that, you know, listen to you, or if you want to share your notes, you want to help me, I'm so open for that. I would love that too. But yeah, I'm just putting myself out there. These are my steps, and this is very exciting. I'm very excited for you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light. Hi, beautiful pile 4. With courage, we're looking at how you help others shine their light. Let's get started. Snake. Intelligence. Let's see. Virtuousness. Seduction. I know a lot of people have an aversion to snakes, but because I'm in the snake year in Chinese astrology, I've always had an affinity for them. Not like so much. I remember back in like high school, I worked at the animal center, volunteered at the animal center for a bit, and we'd always get like kind of leveled up on the animals, and like the last two animals was like the snake and then the hawk, and so you had to like learn how to handle the snake, and I was being tested and I'm like, oh nope, it's going in my sleeve, no, not that. But I really respect the snake for its qualities of intelligence. And I love that they put virtuousness in there and seduction. It's kind of like the positive aspects of your shadow self. Because there's a part of humanity that we've kind of put on in a box and shunned and being like, this is a sin, or this is bad, or this is dark. But not all shadow aspects are necessarily bad. In fact, it can be very helpful, especially in this physical realm. And so I appreciate the snake in that place. Okay, so you're very smart, so you probably know more about this than I do. Different types of intelligences people have, how to recognize. You probably are very good at recognizing what people are smart in or have high intelligence in, even if they can't see it for themselves. Probably because they can't label it or haven't identified it. What people are good at. It could be very, very unique talents, abilities, skill set. Yeah, very good at recognizing that. Because you can recognize it in yourself. You're highly intelligent. And so you can recognize intelligence in others, and even if it's not the same type of intelligence as you, or if they don't have the same knowledge base, you can recognize where their strength lies in their wisdom, in their knowledge, in their experience. Like, you're very good at identifying that. You'd be a really good recruiter. You'd be really good at hiring a team, forming a team, recognizing people's strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. Really sharp shooter, straight shooter. I do feel like you can see experiences and moments for people for what they are. If they're having like a life lesson, even if it's just for the short period of time, and maybe that person can't see it themselves, like this is just temporary or this is just a lesson, you can identify it, which is really, really good. You're very helpful in that way. You can be a lot of things. You can be a teacher, you can be a mentor, you can be a counselor, you can work in intelligence, you can be working with high amount of data for like the government or from a private company. You'd be probably sought after. You have one of those abilities that people can't describe it. You might have had a lot of like high level titles, but like what you do is more than your title for work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have that ability. You're obviously very intuitive, but you're very highly intelligent and highly logical as well. You have both brains working, both sides of your brains working. So it's not that you're just intuitive, but you can apply it and you can get things done in the real world, in real ways, in very big ways. You can't really put a finger on it, but I just call you boss. That's your energy. And so you don't mind if you just hire someone temporarily or just for a specific project, or if you just have a friendship for a short while, or, because you see everything as transitory and for a reason, and you see the higher aspect. So, for example, if you gave someone a job or your friend takes on a job and they have it, they're so excited about it. I'm sorry, I don't know why my camera's shaking so much. And they're so excited to take this job, and then they have it for a few months or 6 months, and then they're like, I don't like this job, I totally absolutely hate it, I don't know why I went into this, I left this job for this, what did I do? I had to take a pay cut, or I had to move, or I did it for this relationship, like, why did I do this, kind of thing, like. But what skills they developed, what training they got, or why they were an asset in that short period of time, even if they can't. And so you're able to see on many levels, and you're able to see over a long period of time. And so you don't mind making quick decisions or decisions that might just help you in the short run. Yeah, you're very, very quick. Temperance, just breathe. You'd be really great with helping people immediately. This is why you would do very well. You would do very well in whatever kind of business that you do, because you're the type of help that and guidance that people are looking for. A lot of spiritual folks, they're like, oh, this is a practice that you need to do for quite a while to see immediate results. Like, it's not going to be immediate. You're going to see the effects after a long period of time. You're someone that people can go to and get clear answers, or get a clear decision, or help them make the right decisions for themselves very clearly, very quickly. What they're going to be good at, or which job that they can take if they have a decision. What project they should pursue next, what relationship they should pursue next. You're the kind of person that gives straight answers immediately. Even if you're a psychic, you're someone who can get the downloads, get the information very quickly and very precisely. It's very accurate. Which allows people to feel immediate, sense of they're relieved immediately. You're not someone who puts on a Band-Aid. You're someone who sews someone up, puts a Novocaine on it and slap their butt on and send them on their way. You're someone who fixes problems immediately. You're like a fixer, a closer. You're a problem solver. You're a get things done kind of guy, kind of girl. You're someone who just fast moving and making decisions left and right. You'd be a really good, obviously, leader, boss, manager, head of household. Yeah, if you're a masculine energy, it's definitely women would flock to you. They love that power, the sense of you're so sure of yourself, a sense of knowing yourself really well, being able to make decisions and being able to make decisions quickly, moving things along, making plans, And there's a groundedness in you. Even though you make a lot of quick decisions, the reason you're able to is because you have a very strong intuition, but also you have a lot of experience. You've been someone who's been working really hard in the current systems in place, so you know a lot about a lot. You know how people work. You might have a really big network of people that you can connect to for different information or a favor, or if you need a favor. It's just you're very well connected. You work very well in the current systems. Sharpshooter, can identify people's strengths and weaknesses, which can work for a variety type of careers and jobs. But you kind of level up wherever you go very quickly because you're very intuitive, very smart, action-oriented, leader, powerful. No matter what your physical appearance is, like, you have a very powerful stance. People listen to you, and you just have this, like, I don't know, this direction. Like, you know what you're doing, and people listen to you. Even when you don't, like, people trust your instincts. Wow. Who are you? Four of Swords, and if I hit the Just Breathe, the Temperance card, you have a very calm energy about you, and you make other people calm. So in like a crisis situation or chaos situation, you would do very well, and the people around you would do very well with just your presence there. They feel good that knowing that you're there. If they need help, you're someone who would help them. Your energy, your presence is very calm. So like even in a high intensity situation, high stakes situation, like your calm kind of radiates to your team and the people around you. Makes you very, very powerful and effective communicator. And also, you probably can work in these kinds of, like stock market, or if you're like an EMT, or if you're like a surgeon, or if you're like, working in the hospital, like life and death situations, or high stakes, business CEO energy, making decisions, banking, I feel like you would do a lot of, like, you might have done a lot of consulting work, or you could if you wanted, because you're just kind of good at like a lot of things, and like you're like the fixer. Like if someone needs help in their business or this or that, like you can come in, figure out what it is, and solve it. It depends on where you are in your career, because I feel like you might start off with like just pinpointing it in people personally. You might be working somewhere where you match people to their right careers, or hiring people, as a low-level manager, and then you might work your way up to kind of just doing like big things, or kind of like what you want to do. Do you want to help people more, or do you want to make big power plays? It depends on where you want to go and what you want to affect and what you find interesting. You might work with groups of people in companies, when they hire outside help to kind of get people in line, or work better together. Whatever it is, like I feel like you can do kind of anything. You can work in high intensity situations, in the hospital, or in production type of industry. Definitely in like some sort of intelligence or security. Yeah, that line of work. It might just be kind of where you lean the most, because it's just like it plays to your natural abilities and skill sets, and it kind of keeps you interested, engaged. But there's like a highlight, any kind of thing, computer programming, or just running a company, being outside help, consultant. You might do freelance work, even if you're an architect. It's just like whatever you do, it's just like you work well under deadlines and high pressure. And you can kind of move around, because you're kind of good at a lot of things, and you have a lot of knowledge. You can just kind of like do a lot. Let's see. How do you help others shine? Just your presence is very helpful to others, but you're deeper than that. The King of Wands and the Queen of Cups in reverse. A lot of people won't listen to advice unless it's from someone that they trust or that they admire. So you could even be like someone who gives lectures or speeches, just a motivator, inspirational speaker kind of thing. Because a lot of folks, they won't listen to just anybody, right? They need to know that this person made it, are doing really well for themselves, know what they're talking about, have experiences, have facts, have data. You're definitely one of those. Whether you do it in your personal life, or if you do it publicly, if you're like, do this for a living. It's just people trust you because they have a reason to trust you. Just like your aura, your lifestyle, your you have a very grounded energy, and you're also very intuitive, and you can tap into that side of you, but you're very practical. And a lot of folks, they might have the highly spiritual part down, which a lot of folks that I connect with through tarot, obviously, but they don't have the ability to have that kind of force. You're a tour de the force, so for sure, in the physical realm. Like, if their physical energy doesn't match their spiritual energy, so it doesn't matter how much spiritual work they do. I mean, it's important to them and people around them, but to make a real difference in the world, make a dent in the physical reality, like you know how to apply it, you know how to make that happen. If not yet, you will. That's how you help others shine their light. That's what you're meant to do. All right, let's see how else you help others shine their light. Yeah, you're a trustworthy person, someone who has knowledge, experience, wisdom, and someone who like people respect, to have a lot of virtues. I mean, you could be like the boss of like a underground group, if you know what I mean, but like you have a set of morals, you have a set of code, you have some, people respect you. And more than like one group of people, even if people disagree with you, like people will respect you. And you do know what you're talking about. Page of Pentacles. Not about playing it small, I'm getting. You definitely work with other people who are also movers and shakers and like big change makers, way showers. You're definitely someone who works with other leaders and other very powerful, very smart, very potent people with potential to do big things. Yeah, whether it's some people that you take under your wing, some people you mentor, some people you work side by side with, people you work for, like everything. It's just like your clients, your coworkers, your bosses, your employees, your friends, your mentor, your mentee. They're all very, very, like, they're heavy hitters, like, they're powerful people, or they have the potential to be powerful people. So yeah, you kind of seek out people who are also very good at what they do. And that's kind of the thing. Like, a lot of people in the spiritual community, like, they might be spiritual, but they don't always seek out spiritual people, or they tend to kind of take the more passive role. Let things unfold, where you're more action oriented, and like you are meant to be more action oriented. You're meant to kind of seek things out and do them, You don't let opportunities pass you by. You see everything as an opportunity. Interesting. Okay, so in terms of helping others shine, you teach them how to fight, how to compete in the world that you live in the reality that you live in the systems that you live in the field, line of work that you are in, or in their own. You just kind of teach people like the basics of how to have courage, how to fight back, how to be smart about it, what to do in certain situations. You model it. You model it as well. If someone disrespects you, what you can do about that. If someone's putting out a product that's very similar to yours, what do you do about that? If the shop next door is closing down, if there's a new owner of this building, if you have a non-compliant tenant, if you have, it's just like someone who's had a lot of experiences and can teach you how to fight and say what to say in certain situations. Fight dirty if you need to, but still like live by a moral code, like kind of those kinds of things. Like, and I'm getting Art of War here, kind of like know when you can avoid that war, that fight, that battle, because when there's a battle, when there's a war, everyone loses, and if you're a good leader, you're gonna take your ego out of it and do what's best for you in the long run and your people in the long run. But if you need to fight, like what to do in that circumstance. Yeah. What kind of knowledge base do you have Pile 4? And it could be like psychic knowledge and wisdom, psychology of people's mentality, you know, being able to identify issues within another person, strengths in another person, you know, read people's faces, energy, behavior, words, tactics, whatever it is, in your specific line of work and field. Ride or die. I do feel like you take on a lot of people, like, if, like, you know, even if someone isn't, like, the best person for the job, you know that this job will help them, you know, in life the most. So you're like, okay, I might take a hit on my profits, but, you know, it's going to help this person out. And, you know, maybe if they get better at it in the long term, I can see them being an employee for me in a different department, of course. But, like, you know, you take people on under your wing. It kind of reminds them, people who remind you of you sometimes, or people that you know. You're really someone who cares for the community. People who know you know that about you. People hear about you too. There's stories about you, how you helped this person and what you did for that person, and you don't talk about yourself as much. So yeah, people have a high level of respect for you, and you don't mind passing that on. You know, you're like, I had a challenging, you know, childhood, and I went through a lot, and if I can help someone, and they're, you know, it's mutual. They want to take me on as much as I, you know, could care about taking them on. Then let's go. And you take on like some of the tougher people, because like, no offense, but it's like, it's usually, it's the concept that I heard from Jordan Peterson, which is just, if you're not a monster, then you're just weak. You know, if people aren't afraid of you because of your intelligence or your idea or physically, or you know, if you're not a monster, if you don't have the ability to cause someone harm, whether it's physically, whether it's psychologically, whether it's mentally, emotionally, like if you don't have the ability to harm someone else, if you don't have the ability to let your shadows aspect, your dark aspects be unleashed and become violent, then you're not that strong of a person. You know, let's look at facts here. You know, if you choose to be nice because if you're not, someone stronger will make you be nice, then you're just weak, right? Being nice, being a good person doesn't mean anything if it's not a choice. If you're not choosing to be good, if you're not choosing to be nice and kind and generous and giving, if you're just doing it because that's your only default, then you're not really a strong person, which is fine. There's a lot of weak people out there, and we all have our weak points sometimes, and not everyone can be strong and courageous or have a lot of difficult experiences early on that they have to struggle and go through the challenges of and stay weak, you know? So not everyone has a drive to make themselves stronger and better and more powerful and go into their energies, right? But you did, and you do. And so you recognize that in others, and, you know, you choose to do good. And you do come across other people, And that's what I'm saying. If you're a very strong person, you have the ability to cause, violent outcomes, but you choose to do good. You want to do good. That makes you a very powerful and strong person and good person. You're going to come across people who are like you, and that's just how it is. You wouldn't really care to work with people who you feel are weaker than you or haven't done as much to strengthen themselves, fortify themselves. It's not in your interest. I do feel like you would get bored with certain types of jobs or certain types of people. And so you are someone who needs to be pushed and, feel adventurous and feel excitement for the work that you're doing and the people that you're working with. It doesn't matter, if you might have people who are not like that in your family life or in your neighborhood, but like in terms of like life's work, that's what you need. And those are the people that you encourage and help to move forward. Usually with like some of the dark experiences that you've had and the toughness that you bring to the table, your wisdom, your knowledge as well, like it comes with your experience. You've been through so much, and that's why you're the lion and the snake here, You pick people who are ride or die. You're very loyal, but also very loyal to the people who are there for you. Okay, let's see. 3 of Cups, yeah. You have a very tight-knit group of friends, or that's what you tend to do that. You bring people together. You form this kind of bond. You make friends wherever you go. People like your energy. I feel like you're a great talker. You're witty. You're funny. You have good stories. But I do feel like a lot of the people that you butt heads with, you end up being friends with. Your competition, because they're very much in your energy. It's hard to find other people who are high level like you, other people who are true bosses, true leaders, who know your industry inside and out, or who have as much experience and wisdom as you. So when you find people like that, sometimes you kind of knock heads because both of you are very strong people, strong energies. Or you might be competing in the same field or same career, same company, whatever. But at the end of the day, you two are so alike that you end up being friends. And it's more than two. You make friends like this all across the board in different industries even. Because when you find someone who has that energy, it's kind of like nice to come across someone like as powerful as you. And you even make some friends with people who you take on to kind of grow. Even if you have children, you make them very strong that you and your children will become very good friends later on in life. Okay. The Hierophant. It's hard. It's hard to get you to commit. And not that you don't want commitment, you're very loyal AF. It's just that you probably had a really hard time finding the right partner because you won't just settle for anything. And there has been a lot of people who want to pursue you because you have that power in your presence. No matter if you're powerful, good looking, very strong, very intelligent, good status, know what you want, confident, very funny, like whatever it is, like you got it and you know it and people like it and people like you and want to be with you. But it's going to take a very strong woman or man to kind of tie you down. They have to be your match for sure. That's how you kind of come off with like friends too. Like you don't let just anyone in your circle, you might help a lot of people, but like, you rather spend time with people who challenge you, who doesn't bore you. You're a very interesting person. You have a variety of interests and passions and hobbies and projects, and you can't hang with people who don't challenge you or interest you or take as many adventures and risks as you and has had as much experience as you and has as much knowledge and wisdom as you. So at the end of the day, how do you help others shine? You just do by being in their presence. You help people just day to day. You stand up for the little people, but you also help those that have the potential to take your position one day. You're not threatened by them. Yeah, you have a very, like, I feel like a very fatherly energy. Even if you're a feminine energy, you have a very strong masculine energy. That people just respect. They come to you for a variety of problems. But yeah, you tend to you have the ability to work with a lot of layers, a lot of different things, kind of see the bigger picture, make tough calls, make quick decisions, take ideas and make them into a practical solution, or, you don't like to play it small. And so you kind of work in that kind of world, and you need people who are kind of in that world as well. And you help people who maybe the most troubled, like you were in their youth, or is going through a tough time now. You can kind of pinpoint it because you just have an incredible amount of wealth of knowledge and wisdom. Even if it's not your thing, even if like helping people with love isn't your thing, you just give the right advice anyway. You're very sure of yourself, and therefore you're very sure of your instincts and your intuition, and that can take you far anywhere. But in terms of helping others shine, you just do it naturally. You tell people right away, like, oh yeah, like you have a knack for these numbers, like why come here, like let me put you onto this job, let's see how you do. Like you're just very matter of fact, just get people in a role, just go with the kind of thing. Or even if you're a very like feminine intuitive person, you're just kind of able to pinpoint. It's like, yeah, for example, if you're a medium, it's like, hey, your mother's coming through, or you had issues with your mother, like, what are you doing for like work? What is your relationship like with your person? What do you like with your kid? You're able to pinpoint it very quickly. It's like, yeah, this is your issue. This is what you need to do. Like people pay high amounts of money, a lot of money for your kind of services. And the thing that I think that you love, is that you're able to help people in very, very big ways very quickly. And you're not worried about if it doesn't work out, because if it doesn't work out, you help them figure out what doesn't work. And you're very confident. Straight shooter. When you say something, people listen. It's very short and to the point. Even if you have more feminine energy, picking this pile, you're very flowy, but like, you might be very creative. Even if you're like a writer or something, it's just like you have a very strong idea and you work on that. If you're an inventor, like if you're an innovator, like you have a very strong idea and you're able to like work out all the aspects. If you can't do it, you find someone who can. You're a go-getter. You get things done. Yeah, because I felt very masculine energy, but this energy works for very, very highly intuitive feminine energies as well. So yeah, just able to get a team together, get things done, get a project started, big projects right away. So how do you help others shine their light? Just being you. And you definitely work with those who have the potential to shine their light very brightly and very powerfully. So you work with those folks, which not everyone can, like low-level healers and light workers. I mean, they do, there's a ton of us out here, and like we're all doing God's work, but like, you got you're working with some of the best, let's just say, high level folks, or people who have the potential for that. All right, pile 4, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, I really appreciate a comment. This reading was paired with another reading I did on my channel, A Moment with Mys Miya. That's MysMiya. And it's a video about me doing this inner work and this reading for myself, how I help others shine their light. And I just try to show my process for those that are interested. Even if you're a spiritual teacher, if you want to take some notes from my ideas and process and share them, or if you have ideas and processes that I can learn from and that you have for me as well, I'm more than happy to take notes and to learn from you as well. Really appreciate it. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light.